And welcome, this is the Vanquish Gaming League. You are watching the semifinal matchup between ElPolloLoco and Crump versus Mord and Satchmo. Mord and Satchmo, dual Zerg team on the verge of elimination, shockingly enough. I don't think many people would have expected this best of 5 series to play out this way. Mord and Satchmo coming into this series 5-1, second place overall record versus a backsliding Pollo and Crump, who were struggling to stay alive in the second half of the season, pulling off a 3-3 victory, still managing a playoff spot, and here they are, one win away from going to the finals. This, of course, is one of 2 semifinal matches. The second match will be between Dude from Brazil and Cello versus The Business and Kid. That match has not yet to be played, though, so it is unknown who the possible opponent would be. But this is a very exciting game as Crump and Pollo try to clinch the amazing upset victory here against Mord and Satchmo. Mord and Satchmo, though, determined not to let that happen. We are here on Tirador Keep, where they are going to try and basically swing the tides of balance here and try to stay alive. This is basically game to game for them at this point. They have no more buffers. They basically have to win out. Not that I'm against miracles or unlikely things of happening, but we have never had somebody come back from a 2-0 loss in a best of 5 series and win it. So at this point, Mord and Satchmo have to make history in order to make a finals appearance. They definitely have the skill to do it. They are a very fierce team, and we'll have to see if they can pull it off. So let's see what our teams are doing here. We've got definitely some early expansions coming down from Mord, being very aggressive on that, and we do also see spawning pool coming down as well. Spawning pools for all 3 of our Zergs are in play. We do have a gateway just finishing up here for Crump. Cybernetics core coming down as well. Looks pretty similar to the build that we saw everyone opening with the last 2 games. So, if you're Crump and Pollo, sure, there's no problem playing the same game you've been playing for 2 games. But if you're Mord and Satchmo, you're looking to change things up. They have tried the same strategy basically twice. Neither one has worked. One of their biggest problems early game is that Satchmo is just not getting enough resources. He is taking too long to macro up, and he is coming up short in the mid game. Mord, of course, playing his macro game and doing just fine, but unfortunately not doing enough scouting and has been caught twice building roaches, while Crump has had nothing but a wall of immortals for him to throw them into. And that has been the big problem here. There's also been a surprising lack of anti-air capabilities from Mord and Satchmo, both games having tremendous problems with Mutalis. They either have to predict it this game or they have to prevent it, but they cannot get caught without proper air protection a 3rd game in a row. It will send them home in the worst way possible. Mord's expansion finally finished. Pollo's not too far behind. And, we do see a little bit of Mord creeping in here, maybe a little too close. We see Pollo trying to take out that Overlord. Overlords, of course, with this new increased speed, can escape a little bit better than they could before. However, it doesn't look like he will make it, and he will go down. And we do see Satchmo once again bringing out 6lings to do some harassment / scouting here. He's not going to find much, though. We do have a very stacked wall here. Might be able to squeeze in here somewhere, but it looks like Crump's going to go ahead and put another pylon just to be on the safe side. It looks like Satchmo will go early, some early work on this wall. Mord and Satch, very famous. We've had, I believe, 2 games in the regular season where on Tirador Keep they were able to break down these rocks, use it to their advantage, and really hurt their opponent early using these rocks. So we'll have to see if they're looking to do that now. We do see speed coming down for both of them, and we see nothing but macro coming in for Pollo. So, if they are looking for an early attack, then maybe able to pull this off. Satchmo getting the rocks almost to 50%, having to abandon ship, though, as unfortunately Crump's Stalker has showed up. And we do have some Zealots on stop position. Well, that's not good. So it looks like these Zealots are a little susceptible to some poking. Now we do see Satchmo having a lot more lings joining here in the fight. But again, this is one part of Satchmo's game that I don't necessarily agree with. His constant suicide of lings. There is a time and place to suicide lings, okay? And this is not one of them. These rocks are important, yes, but the amount of lings that are being wasted trying to break down these rocks may not be worth it, especially when you have 2 Zealots not on hold, and Crump just said to himself, oh my god, those Zealots are not on hold, oh my god, I did not put these on hold. Pollo at this point is probably saying, Crump, what the F did you just do? He's having flashbacks of Dude from Brazil and Cello all over again, as a mistake to put Zealots on hold has cost him the sanctity of his base. And we see Zerglings just pouring in at this point, trying to do as much damage as possible. Satchmo spending a little too, or Mord I should say, spending a little too much time on that gateway. Needs to get into that mineral line as quickly as possible. Stalkers going down left and right. At this point, Crump is probably extremely apologetic. He's probably browsing the Hallmark website looking for a card because he knows he owes Pollo a huge apology for this, as he has just allowed these Zerglings to run rampant through their base. It's like going to work and forgetting to put your dog in the pen. It is just ravaging the couch at this point. The Zerglings just pouring in here. These Stalkers still not on hold position. Unbelievable. This wall is just being completely obliterated. Pollo finally getting some lings in here, and he's probably like, dear God, get them out of my base. We even have a probe here being sent as like a sacrificial lamb, saying, you know, this is how sorry I am. A huge battle taking place though outside the gates, as we see Pollo being fought back into his base. Just enormous push here, and we finally see Mord and Satchmo relenting a little bit, giving Crump and Pollo the ability to kind of bounce back a little bit. You see Crump just doubling down on the gateways, triple gateway, forge, everything he can think of. If it's even remotely defensive, he's going to go for it. Unfortunately, this wall is the beginning of their problems once again, as once again the Zerglings have another route in here. Pollo with a little bit better of an ability. The only thing I would say is that they have not done a decent job attacking workers here. They have focused primarily on just taking out units and buildings. They are forcing Pollo to pull away these troops. Meanwhile, we do have more Lings breaking through on the Crump line here. Crump is just like, my God, can I ever get a break with these things? I make one damn mistake and I'm paying for it for the whole damn game. You know, and that he is. We do now see Pollo finally kicking out those Lings, taking a bit of a hit on economy though. Mord and Satchmo just not giving up on this. They're just taking down, oh my goodness, and that pylon was the one that's going to make it happen. They take out quite a few buildings when they depowered that pylon. They're trying their best to take out as many units as possible. We see more units rolling in here now as more Lings roll in, attacking Pollo. Pollo barely keeping up with that Ling count, trying to defend. We see Crump pulling out his workers here. This is just an absolute nightmare for them. They are not able to play their game, and whenever we see just Satchmo chewing through these workers, more chewing through them as well, this is just turning into an absolute disaster. I don't even know what to say at this point, what Crump and Pollo can do. Unfortunately, Tirador Keep has this enormous ramp of rocks, and once those rocks went down, all hell broke loose. And Mord and Satchmo just chewing through everything. We do see Pollo trying to get a spire up to desperately get something these Lings can't tear apart. But at this point, you know, there's just, I mean, you're going to have to buy a new couch, Pollo. I'm sorry, but the Lings are just shredding the place. This is just a total disaster here. And we see them finally kicking out, which is probably, I don't know, like the 5th wave of Lings rolling in here. And, you know, if you're Mord and Satchmo, you are very happy with this game. This is going very well for you, and you are able to really put a dent here. Take a look at economy here, and you will see that Pollo and Crump are staggeringly at 20. Amazingly, Mord at only 26. Satchmo, though, doing a good job saturating during this attack, trading a little bit of places there in regards to some macro abilities. We do see though these Lings keeping the pressure on, and that's what they need to do. We saw Diener and Be Nasty in the tiebreaker match not take advantage of an early crippling attack and keeping the pressure on, and this is exactly what you want to do. You want to keep that pressure on constantly. At this point, if I'm Crump and Pollo, I may even think about building satellite bases out here just to get some kind of unharassed economy and hope to God nobody notices, because right now Mort and Satchmo are obsessed with this base. They want to take this all down. They want to take advantage. They are continuing to push. We do see a spire coming down now as well. They are starting to get some spore colonies up, as they do not want to be caught with their pants down like they have for 2 games in a row. And we do see a little bit of Ling harass coming out from Pollo, trying to equal the matches here. Amazingly, no Banelings. You would think after 2 games of Banelings, and this game being nothing but a Ling battle back and forth, you'd think somebody would have made Banelings by now. But no one, not a single Bane. Oh, never mind. As soon as I say that, Satchmo says, oh wait, yeah, that's right, Banelings. Let me go ahead and make some of those. So now we have some Banelings coming underway. That is going to spell doom if they are microed properly into these Zealots. You see these Lings just completely blowing past this wall, saying, alright, fine, you have cannons, big deal. build your damn immortals. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take the queen out. I'm going to take your workers out. I'm just going to shred everything. You're not going to get any work. Pollo trying to learn. Unfortunately, it is a little too late to go for this wall. There are just so many lings on this map, and now with banelings on the map, forget it. There's the GG from Pollo. And Pollo and Crump fall in Game 3, giving Mord and Satchmo a little bit of life in this series. Mord and Satchmo, of course, still on the verge of elimination. They will need to win the next map in order to pull off any kind of chance at a Game 5 here. But very exciting twist. Mord and Satchmo playing one of their best maps here on Tirador Keep, taking advantage of the multi-prong attack and using lings effectively. But in the end, I hate to say it, but it came down to one fatal mistake, a mistake that has plagued this team before: Crump forgetting to put the units on hold. And because he didn't put those units on hold, those overzealous zealots rolled out of this base and allowed a huge hole that allowed these lings to get in and cause this hell. That is exactly how they lost their matchup against dude from Brazil and Cello in an exciting Game 3, and or I should say that was the first loss, but it led to a Game 3 that should have been something that Pollo and Crump could have won. That was a game they didn't need to lose. And once again, they have suffered a loss from a mistake that was completely preventable. So we have to see, not to take away though from Mord and Satchmo, they did an excellent job succeeding where Diener and Be Nasty could not in their tiebreaker, which is crippling the enemy early and continuing to push and push and push and be utterly annoying with a sea of lings and expanding at the same time, giving themselves every single type of advantage. They basically played this game exactly how they needed to. Took advantage of mistakes and kept pushing, never stop attacking. So we'll have to see how both of these teams respond to this game in what should be a very exciting Game 4, and see if maybe this is a beginning of a comeback for Mord and Satchmo.